Drop your predictions in the comments. What do you think is going to happen on the 6th? Will she be arrested? Will they issue a warrant for her arrest this Friday? Are they going to go that route? Or will she just plead the 5th and avoid answering? Anything? Maybe she'll show up with all the paperwork and say it was a simple misunderstanding, that nothing really happened. Is that possible? No. The answer is no. But hey, if that's what you think, drop it in the comments, and let's see who ends up being right. Hey yo, it's your girl J9E. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, share this video, and get into those comments. I want to hear what you think about all of this. So apparently there was a fire, a literal fire, at Kamal Woods' car wash. Now, in case you didn't know, Kamal is Tiffany Henyard's man. That's the super mayor Tiffany Henyard's boo-thang, her boyfriend. I know, it sounds wild, especially since this man is currently married to someone else, but yes, that's her boo. And this car wash? It belongs to him. And allegedly, Tiffany had been living upstairs in this same building for a while. Now, as you can see, there's a fire happening outside the building. And the backstory behind it? Oh, it's messy. Because we're trying to figure out exactly what it is they were burning. They weren't just caught in some accident, no. They were out there voluntarily setting something on fire in the backyard. And this all happens while Tiffany is supposed to be in court, showing up with documents, paperwork, whatever. And guess what? She didn't show up with anything. Then, suddenly there's smoke in the backyard. Coincidence? I think not. If they were just burning food, that would be obvious. You can smell food. You know what food smells like. But what's being implied here, and this is what people are starting to talk about, is that they were allegedly burning evidence, documents, paperwork, something they didn't want anyone to see. You've got smoke rising, and right on the other side of the fence you can see the layout. That's the car wash building, and this building next to it. There's a grill pushed up against the wall and some tubs they apparently use to dump ashes in after everything is burned to ash. Whoever saw this in real time, salute to you. This person drove by, saw what was happening, turned around, parked across the street and started filming. To that person, thank you. Thank you for your service, honey. Now, you can see the open gate. That right there is the stairway up into the building. At first glance, I thought what we were looking at was a dumpster lid. But it's not. That's actually the back wooden fence. And right in front of that, a barrel-style grill. You can't see the inside clearly, but that's what they're using to burn whatever it is they're burning. And this brings up the real question. What are they burning? And why? You don't normally burn things in a grill. If you're getting rid of documents or yard debris, people usually burn that kind of stuff in an actual barrel. That's how you burn leaves, paper, whatever. But this is strange. It feels eerie. And that man right there with the stick? That's Kamal. I recognize that posture. He's got a kind of crooked stance, very recognizable. That's definitely him standing there, poking around in the grill with a stick. And that alone tells you it's not food. Nobody uses a stick to flip burgers. He's stirring it, trying to move it around. So what is it? Tiffany, you're going to jail. If you don't stop playing and get that paperwork together, it's a wrap. You can't just be out here burning evidence. If this gets brought up in court, it's going to be a huge problem. If someone asks what you were burning back there and you can't explain it, that's going to be an issue. And just when you think it couldn't get any weirder, oh, it does. Because the person who filmed all this, they came back the next day. Yep. They returned to see what was left, just trying to figure out what had actually been burned. Because again, this wasn't food. If it had been, the person who filmed it would have smelled it. There's no missing. The smell of grilled food. That's what made them come back in the first place, because something didn't add up. So they peeked over that same fence again, the next morning. And what they saw in that grill, it made everything clear. It wasn't food, not even close. They came back, looked over, and right there in that grill, clear as day, was a spring, like the type you'd find in a notebook. Yes, that kind of spring. This is what we're looking at here. A spiral metal spring from a notebook, not plastic, because if it were plastic, it would have melted. But this one didn't. It held up in the fire. So clearly, it's metal. Now, you tell me, what food do you know that comes with a metal spiral inside it? What kind of charcoal has a metal spiral baked in? I'm trying, I really am, to come up with any reason, any excuse, for why a spiral from a notebook would be sitting in the middle of an ashpan like that. What scenario involves you tossing a whole notepad into a fire and burning it? In what normal setting does that happen? This is obvious. It's clear as day. They were burning notes, papers, documents, evidence. That's what was going on, and that ashpan we were just looking at? Yeah, it's a barrel. That's the one where they dump all the ashes after they finish burning stuff. They use this barrel like a giant trash bin for ash. So fast forward to the next morning, this same person, the one who documented everything, comes back to check it out, to see what they could find over the fence, just trying to piece together what exactly got tossed into that fire. So they look over the fence, and yep, there it is, that same ash bucket. But then they also notice something else, some kind of sign in the back behind the fence. Maybe it blew off, maybe it was supposed to be burned, or maybe it's just a coincidence that it's lying there, but still there it is, lying out back. Isn't that something? Very, very interesting. And all this going down at the same time that Tiffany is supposed to be preparing to go to court. Like we're talking about a court date coming up on Friday. Today is the 1st. She's got to show up in court on June 6th. Now, she already had a court date on May 30th, but she showed up via Zoom, even though she wasn't supposed to. But she had only been served those court papers the day before, so the judge let her slide with the Zoom call, probably out of grace. But now, for the June 6th court date, she has to appear in person, and she's supposed to bring documents. The very documents the court has been asking for. The entire reason she's being dragged in. If she doesn't bring them, she's going to be fined $1,000 for every day she fails to produce them. Every single day. So, my prediction, I think, she will show up to court, but she won't be bringing the documents. That's what I believe. So she's going to get hit with that $1,000 fine, and she'll keep doing that, showing up empty-handed, until she either finds something to turn over, or she scrambles to put together whatever she thinks will satisfy them. Also, keep in mind, they plan to put her under oath. She'll be sworn in, and they're going to start asking her questions, point blank. I believe she's going to plead the 5th. That's my prediction for Friday. Lock it in. But if you've got a different theory, drop it in the comments. What do you think is going to happen on the 6th? Is she getting arrested? Will there be a warrant issued for her arrest? Will she refuse to answer any questions? Or will she pull a rabbit out of her hat and come in with all the paperwork, claiming it was just a big misunderstanding? Is that what you think? I don't. The answer is no. But if that's where you're at, go ahead and post it in the comments. Let's see who ends up being right. I'll be real with you. I don't think she's bringing anything. Not a single sheet of paper. Why? Because I believe she burned it all. I can't think of a single reason why a metal spiral from a notebook would be in that grill. Like I said, they didn't burn that stuff in the barrel. No, they burned it on the grill. Then, after everything was turned to ash, they dumped the ashes into the barrel. That's their process. So now tell me, why would you be grilling a metal spiral? Why would that make sense? It doesn't. That's the answer. There's no meal in the world that includes a grilled notebook spiral. So don't forget, drop your prediction in the comments. I'm locking mine in. You better commit to yours. Think it through, or just throw out your best guess. Heck, give me 2 different predictions if you want. Just make sure they're in separate comments, all right? Help run up the engagement on this video, and Mama would definitely appreciate that. Now y'all behave, 'cause I'm not gonna do it. Absolutely not. And don't forget, Mama loves you. Yes, she does. Peace.